Hello, Jens and Vars here, creator of the Plot Unfolding Machine and PUM Companion. Today I'm gonna talk about the supermassive new update, the 2.7.0 for PUM Companion, this app to create amazing stories, improvise some storytelling and solo role play on behalf of many characters all together in one place. So without much of a fuss, let's get going because there's plenty to discuss. And before that also actually I wanted to do a big thanks to the closed beta testers who helped me polish this release, because the app is getting massive, it's getting out of my control. There's so many features, from gameplay, dice rolling, 3D dice, themes, image editor, map editor, characters management, whatever you name it. There's so much going on, so big thanks to Seradigm, to Squishy, to Rufus, to Locke, all of you guys, and also of course Seal, because he's made some amazing content for the app. So anyway, that was worth a shot because this build is a teamwork. So here we are. Now making myself closer to the bottom right of the screen, I'm going to be focusing on the app and what is new. I'm gonna open my notes here, because there's plenty. It's gonna be separated in sections. We have infrastructure improvements, visuals, image editor, PDF exporter improvements, productivity improvements, performance, gameplay, keyboard shortcuts, 3D dice, some community updates, and of course some nasty bug fixes. So let's see. First of all, when you open the app, the first massive feature is gonna be the cloud synchronization and integration with Google Drive. So essentially, you're gonna be able to open a menu on the settings where you're going to be able to configure automatic exports, backups, and daily auto backups and other things with the drive of your own account. That means you're going to be able to automatically put copies of your game so you can safeguard them and make sure you have a safe copy of your games in the cloud. You have things like whether you want to do a daily auto backup. That means each time you open the app once per day, it's gonna make a separate copy of your game, put it safe and separate it from the rest. You have also an option to do an auto export and set a timer. With this, for example, you can say whenever you're playing, every 15 minutes, it's gonna export the latest save of your game. And also, last but not least, the sync of latest saves is if you play across different devices and you made advancement on the same game in another device who has also this cloud integration and has exported to the cloud, then when you open it from another device, it's gonna automatically detect that there's a newer version of that game and automatically offer you to download it. And before I forget, there's a massive sub feature of the cloud feature, which is this import game from cloud. This is gonna be a super extremely convenient tool for you, because you're gonna press this button, it's gonna pop up a list of your games, that you have available in your Google Drive. That's gonna make it extremely convenient, because if you're playing from another device, upload it to the Google Drive through this sync feature, you're gonna be able to access them from all of your other devices where you have PUM Companion. Just open this list, press the game you want, it's gonna offer you to download it from there, it's gonna pull it down from Google Drive, and it's gonna offer you to open it. So have fun. So showing now on my screen, there is the new settings menu, because of course there's so many things to customize in the app as the app grows. So you can have settings for user interface, the log area, the cloud sync, the 3D dice, and so on and so forth. Next massive feature is gonna be the vaults. This is for desktop users only at the moment. Essentially, you can now choose where you want to save your games and templates and cards of the app. So you can have many places, not only one place. And essentially, if you can go and create a new folder wherever you want, then you can use this folder as a vault. Essentially, you would have an empty state of PUM Companion for that vault. That means its own set of cards, random tables, character templates. You can use this however you like. Of course, one use case is to put them on a cloud drive, so it automatically syncs all of the files and saves. But also you can use it to organize your different settings, different kind of games, different genres and whatever. So looking forward to see how you use this. It's a very productivity oriented improvement. Next, on the infrastructure point, we have the auto update finally. So essentially, for each IO owners of PUM Companion, if you validate your app, essentially put your Windows serial number key on the app, whenever there's a new update, you'll be able to click from right here. Of course, there's now no new versions. It's gonna pop up a button to say, hey, download the latest version. You're gonna press there and it's gonna automatically restart, download the app for you and bring up the new version. No fuzz, no installers. The only requirement for that is that you need to place the serial number that you got from each IO in order to confirm your purchase. Cool, now with that infrastructure thingies, let's get into a game and use that as a reference to show the new features. I'm getting into my Band of Blade game. Of course, you might have heard of it because I've been talking about it all the time. It's my ongoing game, and essentially I'm on my second adventure of that campaign. And the next feature I want to show you is on the visuals aspect. This is a secret feature announcement, so to say, but essentially now you have this borderless mode in the app that if you activate, the app is gonna hide this horrible border markers on top, so you're gonna have a very immersive window to play from. The other feature, I'm not gonna activate it here, but that I'm gonna leave you to explore it, is of course the full screen mode. That's gonna expand the window to the max of the screen, hide everything borders, and be fully in the app. So this can be great for, I don't know, TV screens or smaller device, so you can make Plot and Folding Machine Companion take all of the available space you have. Next on the list is oracles, tables, and decks are now collapsible. So if you open the panel of the left, you're gonna see that all of the oracles can be collapsed by their sections, and that also includes your own tables. I don't have very nice tables, excuse me, I've been trying to find bugs of the day, but if I go back to my oracles, you're gonna see that all of them can be collapsed. And this is also available through a setting where you can default collapse them. So if you like tidiness and look oracles by their categories, it's gonna be very helpful. And if you have lots of random tables that you created, you're gonna be able to categorize them this way. The next improvement is on the crystal theme. For those who have that extra, you're gonna be able to switch to light mode. That is not new, of course. It's gonna get me blind, I'm on a dark room, but if you load, I don't know, more a lighter theme, choose some fancy colors, you're gonna see that there's many more better contrasts on the light mode of the screen. It's gonna be quite interesting to use. Some improvements on the color tones, on the cinematics of the oracles. So the light mode crystal, I hope you like the changes. They are minor things, but all around it's improving the experience of the light mode version of the app. Cool, let's move on to next set of changes. I think this is something gonna be very, very interesting to many of you. But now if you enter any of the image editor, you are now able to multi-select different layers and move them all together. Perhaps this is not the best example I have at hand, but anyways, you get the point. You will be able now to move with the right click. All of the movement controls have been revisited. You're going to be able to select and move different layers together. If you hit this very well hidden icon button, you're going to be able to group layers so they get automatically selected together, so you can easily move them together and so on, as well as if you can make copies of those groups, and it's gonna help a lot with the productivity of using the image editor. The next thing is related to different improvements all across the resizing and the performance of the image editor, so I'm gonna leave you to explore all of these minor improvements that are over there. Moving on, the PDF exporter got better headers and footers. Of course, the PDF exporter means the share your game button here that exports to a PDF. I think this is pretty cool. Of course, you might have already seen that you can introduce some of the characters. So if you have important characters, that you want to share or highlight in the PDF, you can mark them over here. And then the PDF generator should look a bit better and tidier when it comes to the formatting of its border and edges. So if you see here, if I fit it on screen, you're gonna see the footers have better contrasts. The character introductions are gonna appear on the top with better titles, so your story should be better to read in Crystal Dean, particularly having these transparent backgrounds on the back. There's also a bunch of improvements all around, so there are different PDF exporters, so you can always export an entire character as a PDFs or their notes. Whoa, this looks like a battery of info, right? I hope you are still here with me, because the next section is gonna be about productivity. There is a big banger feature here. If you remember, there is a filter function. Now the filter function can be used to not only show certain character tags, but also hide certain tags. So if you press again on the filter, you can show, for example, everybody who is not a specialist, or not a specialist but also a legionnaire. I don't know, just to give examples, if you press the clear filter, it's gonna be reset. However, or on top of that, if you, let's say, filter on the specialists and press this export bundle button, you're gonna be able to export a group of characters entirely and import them from another game. This is called a bundle, an entity bundle, and by pressing here this button, it's gonna export the filtered characters. If you don't have filters, it's gonna export all of them into a file ending with PUMB, that is PUM bundle. That means if you add a character, you can import a bundle and import a bundle of characters or locations or compendium. So this is gonna be a productivity tool and also great for content creators. The next productivity tool is the create for images. So if you have, let's say, a bunch of character portraits, let me look for my folder of portraits. Let's say these three guys over here. You can, from their image, create characters and put them under a tag. For example, I don't know, soldiers. If you press OK, of course I need to reset the filter now, you're gonna create automatically one character per image. This is also, of course, you will have to rename them. They're gonna take the file name as their name. Feel free to play with this, but it's gonna be great for those of you who have like pre-made adventures that come with assets and content, so you can very, or at least faster, onboard and bring those characters to the game. Remember that by doing so, your characters and locations will be available in the image editor through the tokens section, so you're gonna be able to access them through here as well. Great, moving on. Let's talk a bit about gameplay features that we're including in 2.7.0. The first one is narrative dice support. This is to play systems like the Genesis system. So if you press /G and put the combination of dice pool dice for that, for example 3 times ability and 2 times difficulty, and press enter, it's gonna roll the narrative dice for you over there. Cool. The next thing is gonna be that you're gonna notice there are improvements in the dice roll expression. So for example, if I press or if I enter the expression 3d6 plus 1, of course the 3d dice are gonna roll, but also you're gonna see a simplified version of the dice rolling. There is a setting that's actually turned off by default, which is to include additional roll details. So if you turn it off, you're gonna see even less details about your dice roll. So if you say rolling attack 2d6, you're gonna just see this rolling attack 5, 6 are the dice rolling results. So next is going to be that there are going to be, oh, this is interesting for random tables. So if you come to random tables and edit them and add the keyword : result : to the entries, then you're gonna be able to see the dice number that you rolled on that entry. So this can be very useful for weighted tables or other complex random tables you guys create, to include the result of what did you roll for that to get that entry result. Another super interesting feature is the multiple table roll features. Let's say we have a super quick table called damage. This was a recommendation from the community. I love the idea where you have a custom dice, for example, where the first entry is 1 damage, the second entry is 2 damage, the third and the fourth is no damage, and I don't know, the fifth is a critical, and the sixth one is I don't know, crazy event, whatever. And let's assume you're rolling a 1d6 on this. It's a 1d6 table, right? So you have this table, and then you come here and type 4d, and between key brackets you put damage, which is the name of the table. It's gonna roll 4 times on that table roll. So with this you can use random tables to create custom dice. Cool. In the terms of keyboard shortcuts, this is for a platform of desktop, PUM Companion. Remember, you can press Ctrl F to jump to characters. You can also speak on their behalf by pressing this speaker button and quickly talk on their behalf. So there's been a bunch of improvements all around to make sure that these shortcuts work from all around the app without conflicting with certain parts of the game. And last but not least, okay, actually not last, but there's a bunch of things. Do take a look at the amazing 2 new dice sets created by Seal. One of them is for cyberpunk games called Cyber Neon. It's really nice. I love it. So you're gonna see some amazing cyberpunk style 3D dice on the app now. The other dice sets is more for, I think, mystery games or 1930s games. So take a look at it. It's called, if I'm not mistaken, Mystery Clue. And it's also pretty nice. It has this brown opaque tone to it. Nice. And then on the top right menu, you're gonna see a few new options like keyboard shortcuts, the how to play, of course, that was over there already. There is this important PUMC Online Hub, which is a wiki space for the app. So all of you guys can come here for general information about how to use the app. Of course, this website is very new. It's going to be a work in progress all the time, but hopefully we can enrich it with tricks and tips and resources to make use or to take the most out of the app. So I hope I haven't lost you with that amount of information, but this is PUM Companion 2.0. I wanted to thank again all of the community for the suggestions, the bug reports, the patience, and the amazing energy you have. The moderators of the Discord, remember to join the Discord and click subscribe on my channel to follow us. And yes, have fun. There's plenty to do now. Let's see what stories you can create with this amazing tool. This is Jensen Vars, and until the next one, bye bye.